Hello and welcome back to the Garden of Ethan. I feel like I haven't said that in a billion years, a literal billion years. We're back. Look at this. This week has been full of, returning content. The thing that we have put on the back burner for like a good couple months, 2-3 months. It's been a busy couple of months. If you follow along with the book club that is reigniting, I went a bit over why these sort of things have been put on the back burner, why I've been a bit busy. It's hard because sometimes like so many things happen in a week and I was like, I'd love to just like do an episode of the pod, talk about it, journal, life and just have fun, chat about it. But I've just been that bloody busy and I have really limited time to film. And obviously I want to do my reactions because that's like the thing that's, I'm most focused on. God, also I've been wanting to do bloody gaming videos for like 17 billion years. I have one that's like half edited, but I just never get already so over busy that I make myself too busy, and that's the problem. I just need to cut out some social life, but then you want to have that. That is something that we want to need. But God, so we've been at work. Work is generally busy. I only have from like 5 o'clock onwards in the day to film because there's work on my buildings and they're so loud in the day. Half of the reason I haven't been streaming too is because it's literally like it's just constant. I'm like, well, I can't because it picks up on my. I don't think it couldn't not pick up on my mic. So I'm like, I don't want that because that's so annoying. And then like some nights I'm just working or I'm doing things because people need to plan things in nights because that's the time they have it because friends, family do things in the daytime at work, and it's just one of those things where I'm like, oh my god, I just need like 4 weeks of just like stopped time to be able to just like get ahead. But every time I feel like I'm ahead, I'm always behind. Patreon, if you're watching this and you're a member of the Patreon, I'm trying. Like YouTube, we're actually kind of ahead. Like because I've been doing this thing where I'm not trying to die putting out things every day and actually making sure they're not rushed and edited like in a better fashion, and we take some days off every now and then. But Patreon, I still want it to be worth it for which I think it is, because even if you get like 4 to 5 reactions a week, that's still like a decent amount because you pay by month, not by week. So I think it's still like pretty good. Personally, as someone who has paid for a lot of Patreons in the past, that doesn't bother me because I'm like, yeah, whatever. But, I also, as now the creator, feel like guilty sometimes. I know I shouldn't because that's what I choose to pop out. But also, I, want to make sure people enjoy what I create and get, the most bang for your buck, because if you're paying for it. Anywho, but where was I going with this? Yeah. So I just feel bad that, we're just not ahead on Patreon because it's also the thing of, I don't want to start certain like shows or things because things come out and then you got like a couple of week gaps and I'm like, well, I'm starting that and then that takes over and then I have to push more things back. It's just, scheduling sucks. I wish I had someone to run my life. You know what I mean? Actually, I could just do it myself, but I'm also just useless. But we don't need to complain all day, even though that's pretty much what I'm good and here for. That's what this podcast is about. I do want to, either in the next couple of weeks, do another follow-up to, I did my top men of 2023. I really want to do my top men of 2024 and just talk about the men in the shows that I've watched and other things, because I thought that was a really fun episode last year. So I want to do that again this year. As maybe like a yearly tradition, but that won't be this week. This week we're just checking in, having a chat in the limited time I have today. Like I'll run you through my week. Just the last couple of days have just been so busy, not my full week, but this is what it's about. We chat. How are y'all? How are you guys doing? Days have been wild recently. It's also been getting to summer here, which means it has been hitting like 35 degrees a lot recently, which is hell. Where I work, it is hot. I do a lot of like exercise when I work, so I am boiling. It is just hot in general, which is, I hope you can't hear the fan that is going behind me, because the other couple of rooms in my place have ceiling fans. The one that I chose, I was like, yeah, I'll make this one my office. Should have picked where my bedroom is, because actually I do like sleeping with a fan, but God, it can get hot in here. But yeah, it is just boiling, sweltering, and it has been raining a lot. And generally in summer, we don't have a lot of rain. Australia known for a good amount of droughts. It has been, which we love the rain, but it has been humid, and humidity kills me. My hair fuzzy, but also it's just like, it's that heat that you can feel, you know? It's not like feel on your skin, it's like you feel it in your soul. And I'm like, can you just not be humid? I couldn't live in a tropical climate, I think I would die. It's lovely, but also lovely in small doses. You get me? So it has been boiling. I did have someone on Patreon talk about, because I don't know what they commented about. My mind goes blank, but they're talking about how it's so funny that Australia has Christmas and summer. And I know we've been over this topic before, but I was just replying to them. I was like, have we talked about it or not? But I'm gonna harp on a broken record. I was like to them, it's just all I've known, all I've ever known. And to me, it's not as strange thinking about a white Christmas, a snowy Christmas, that sort of thing, because it's in every media interpretation of Christmas. That's just how it works. But to me, a summer Christmas is just so fun. Besides it being unbelievably hot because Australia gets boiling, it's just so nice. Christmas to me is shorts, t-shirts, families, been outside, salads and seafood, going to the beach, that very just real fun summer vibes, those best, it's just it's remembering it in sepia tone, that really fun, yellow hued, just general really good wholesomeness. I don't know, the sun's always shining usually. Some Christmases we have had rain, but we had this one thunderstorm maybe I was gonna say a couple of years ago. It was 10-15 years ago, and I remember it hailed on Christmas, and it was crazy, and everyone in at least Melbourne was talking about it because the hail balls were so huge, and it was wild. It was a wild Christmas, but generally lovely sun, and it's just good. It feels good to just be I don't know, nice. That's just how Christmas is to me, which is or the holidays. So it's so strange that, because I can, I guess, fathom the snow, but I understand why people wouldn't understand a really hot Christmas, even though I'm assuming a lot of a decent amount of the world would probably have a sort of warm Christmas. But this week what did I do? What did I get up to? It's been a blur. Great thing that happened. I went interesting of me, I actually went out for once. As I've said, I'm a big homebody, but my friend and I went to a concert which was so amazing, so much fun. They're a small, well, I don't want to say small because I feel they're super cool, but probably in the grand scheme of things, they are a smaller Melbourne-based band called Blusher, and I think I've talked about them once or twice before. I feel I've mentioned them. I really like them. They're really cool. Go listen if you're here and you want some new music and you vibe some pop. I don't know how to describe their vibe. Their vibe is immaculate. They're really cool. But I went to their concert. I think I talked about maybe last year, because I went and saw Aurora, which is a big one of my favorite artists, and they opened for her last year. And since then, I looked up the band. I told my friend who came to Aurora with me, and I was their music's really good, we're gonna listen to them. And then since then we always listen, we love their new songs, it's so great. So when we saw they were coming to Melbourne, it was oh yeah, that's so cool. And they're from Melbourne, and it was their first, I think, headline show where they are the attraction. It's I don't know how, I'm not the biggest music persona, so I don't know the words for it, but it's their first show in Melbourne where they're the act, and I think that was such a cool experience to see. We get there as kind of at a small 100 people sort of in a pub sort of area with a stage, and you just everyone standing. The vibes were great. Well, I feel like there are a lot of people there that were, and like good on them. I feel like the vibe was they go every sort of week and just go see what artists are there. So there were definitely like a lot of people there for the band Blusher who knew like their music, and then there was a good portion of people who were just there to support like local artists, smaller artists, different artists that pop in and out. So, but like good on them for doing that, because that's like good exposure, you know, blah, 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 blah. But we were there, we were like, me and my friend were having the absolute best time. It was so fun. They were so cool. Like they're a really cool band. I need to like post something on Twitter about it, because I just want to talk about Blusher because I think they're really cool. I don't know, the vibes were good. They have like such a good stage presence, which is, I think is amazing. They like threw some jokes in there, which was really cute. Just like their friends, and jokes like, you know, one of them was like, oh, something about their songs, and she was like, oh, do you want to come to, I think their first EPs, do you want to come dance? And then one of them was like, do you want to come dance with me? And she's like, all right. And then the other one was like, I'm jealous. And I was like, that's just, you know, sweet. It's really like nice to see them just having a good time. So they finished their set and they were like phenomenal. They played some new songs that like aren't released yet, which was really cool. And I was like, actually fuck them, because these songs were like really good. And I was like, I can't listen to them now. I'm mad. I'm so sad. And then they're like, hey, I had already bought merch. I bought a shirt, which I should have got to have here. Do I? Oh my God. No, maybe I'll put a picture. It's fine. You know what? We'll be okay. It's in the other room. It's like in my wardrobe. It's fine. You can imagine it's just cool merch of them. They had like poses, like little like fighting pose, kind of like Charlie's Angels-esque, which is really cool. Just imagine 3 like cool looking girls just like in fighting pose on a t-shirt. So very cool. And I bought that like at the start, and then they finished, they're like, hey, we're gonna like hang around at the merch stand. And I was like, yes. And I was so happy, because like, also this was so surprising to me for someone who doesn't go to a lot of gigs, concerts, however you want to say it. My friend and I were like close to the merch stand, so I was like, babe, get the fuck next to the merch. Like, we've got to be there, because I was also really tired, and I was like, we're gonna get this done and then like leave. I'd love to meet them, but then I want to go home because I'm tired. And she was on the same vibe, so it was great. So we got there, and we're kind of, a group of people were standing around, and then we're like, oh, some people actually want to buy merch and other people want to meet them, or like people are going to buy merch and then hop in the line and then meet them. So we made 2 separate lines, one for like meeting, one for buying, and then hopping in the back. And I was like, oh my, how did this work out? Like, everyone just kind of organized it. There was no like fast hassle. It just worked really well. And I was just really surprised by how it worked. I don't know. I have no faith in humanity, apparently. So they came out after like a little bit. Obviously, they're probably tired. They just did a whole set. They were dancing. They were so cool. So I was like, take your time. But also I was like, I'm tired. But they came out, and I remember we like had chatted to the people in front of us, and they started like going to see them, take some photos, get some stuff signed, and then these 2 people in the merch line like hopped into the meeting line, and this line was like long. They hopped in the front, and I was just like, I'm too close to them, like the band Blusher. I was like, I can't say anything because I don't want to look like that crazy Karen asshole in the line. And then I see one of the girls in front of me that I don't know just go, they like leaned in, and I was like, yeah, I get it. I was like, I get it. I was like, obviously they don't know. They're not like cutting in because they're like, oh, the line's so long, we're going to cut in because we're rude. They just didn't know. And that's fine. I was just like, you just kind of like, look how there's this giant line there, you know, like social cues, social, you know, figure it out. You're an adult, you know, but it was fine because, I mean, I guess I wasn't mad because I was still like 3rd in line group. So we like went up, and I was like to my friend, I was like, I'm kind of nervous. I was like, I'm meeting like I don't know at what point you get to be counted as a celebrity. Maybe like not, but like you hear them on the like they're on the radio or like Melbourne radio stations, and like I listen to them on Spotify. Like that's pretty crazy. So we like met them, and they were unbelievably nice. They were like so cool. They were like, I felt bad because we are kind of like just talking to one of them because the other two were like trying to sign our stuff first. So like one of them was like dedicated listening to us. The other two were like trying to get it done and they'd like pay attention. And I was like, honestly, if one out of the three of you are paying attention, that is so fine because the other two are trying to get stuff done. I was like, y'all have got such good energy. I know it's not, when you can tell people are like trying to do something in a rude way and then other people are trying to do something like really courteously. They were just like getting it done. It was great. But they signed it. We like told them that we'd seen them in Aurora and we were excited about the new music. And they were like, when I said that, she was like, oh my God, and you're here from like Aurora. And I was like, I know she's listening and actually just talking like a human being, but sometimes you like disconnect that. And I was like, she actually listened and like acknowledged what I said. And I was just like, I don't know, they were just so lovely. They signed our shirts, we got a picture with them. I was saying to my friend, I don't know if this is like a really weird topic, but this is the podcast to talk about my life and my things. It's such an interesting thing because there's three of them and my friend went up. I've obviously like, a somewhat flamboyant man. I come across very, depends what setting, code switching and all that, what setting I'm in. I can be a bit more like slay, but to make people feel comfortable. But my friend went up and got a picture with them and she's, there like, standing there, then getting a picture. I go up to take a picture with them, these like amazing, lovely people. And I was like, I don't know where to put my arms. I was like, because you never in life, and I think I made the right decision because I went to go like, put your arms around, in a picture with a group of people, usually you do like if you're like behind, not on the sides, you do a behind people. And I went to go do it and then I was like, you know what? I don't know these people. I don't want to overstep. Like they don't know me. Like I know of them, parasocially. But I was like, I don't know. I was like, I wouldn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. I went to like put my arm around and then I was like, actually no, because I don't want to be a creepy person. And I don't think they would have thought that because in the picture, one of them's like leaning on my shoulder. I was like, oh, I don't think they would have cared. And I'm an overthinker. But I'm just like standing there with both my arms in front of me. I look very happy, but very like slightly awkward. If you like think about it too much, you're like, oh, his looks awkward as hell. And I was like, I don't, I do look a bit awkward, but I'd prefer to look awkward and not make someone uncomfortable than, be weird, and I don't even think it's that much, but as someone, I don't know if anyone out there is an overthinker like I am, but I just like, I don't want to ever put someone in a position where you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, I didn't mean to like, be overly friendly or like over that line. So I was like, yeah. Creepy arms in the front. It didn't even look that bad, but I was just like, no, I'm not. It's just something I really thought about. And I was talking to my friend and she was kind of like, oh, like, no, like you gave off like strong gay vibes. Like they wouldn't have, I think, cared or like thought you were like a creepy, straight, overstepping as a like heterosexual man. I was like, I know, but I was like, I don't know if she like understand as a male. I didn't want to, come off that way in general, even though like no interest in women whatsoever. You still don't want to put someone in any uncomfortable situation. So just like a funny like thought overthinking thing that I was just like, it's a very interesting actual dynamic thinking about it like retroactively, being like, hey, like what is the etiquette there? I think I made the right call. I actually don't think they would have cared. They were really nice, really friendly. They literally said, if you want to stay around, like, we'll be at the merch stand. If you want to stay around, meet us and like have a hug. So I was like, I don't think they would have minded, but it's just one of those things that, yeah, I don't know. I guess some people like me would probably think about way too much. But last night I had a, Kris Kringle. I've got a lot of Kris Kringles coming up, or Kris Kringle / White Elephant. Like some of them are different. Some of them are the ones where you swap and steal. And it was wonderful. I had it with my old work friends who are some of my best friends. But you know how you categorize different groups of people? And then, because they were always my work friends, even though they were like dear friends to me, I loved them all so much. And now I call them my old work friends, or like I call them like where I used to work, this like name of the supermarket. I call it like that friends, even though we haven't all worked there in like years. I'm like, that's still the group, even though I don't want to count them as like this group of friends, that's just who they are, you know, and it's so funny. But we did a Kris Kringle. I think I got the best gift. I think I also bought a pretty good gift, but we set a limit. Here's the thing about Kris Kringle these days, in this economy. I was like, we set a limit, and I have a couple of other Kris Kringles coming up. I have one for work, I have one with them, and I have one for another group of friends. And we set the limit around like, for a couple of them, it was like $25, which is like a good gift for Kris Kringle. That's a good amount, you know. You can barely buy anything anymore. Like, that's decent and, like, not... Like, for a work Kris Kringle, it's good because you can get, like, a goofy gift. But, like, for, like, friends where you want to... You know, when you're going in with a group of friends, whether you know who you've got for, like, a Kris Kringle or it's a white elephant and you put it in the middle, you want to get something, like, not... Choose, like, your friends that you know, love and care for. You want to get something, like, good, decent that they'll use. Even if it's a funny gift to, like, you know, make sure it's, like, substantial. You can barely buy that much good stuff. Like, yeah, you go to Kmart, Big W, and, Big W is not a... Kmart, it might not be international too. Target is. Like a Target equivalent. You can go to Target and get a lot of things. Target in Australia, I feel like is really... It's not... Like in America, I think Target's like popping. Here, it's kind of like failing, I'm pretty sure. A lot of Targets are not Targets anymore. Like, they're really not doing that well. At least I think in Melbourne or Victoria. I feel like it's like it's the bottom of the big three for us. But we did. I'm just like, there is nothing, you know. Sometimes you just want to buy something really, like, you know, somewhat useful that people are going to use. Like, I don't want to spend money on a gift that's kind of like a crappy joke, like that's going to be a one-time thing. I was like, it's just, to me, it's not worth it. It's not like, I'd prefer to go a little bit over budget and get something that someone likes, you know? And I've been really thinking about it. And one of my friends was like, buy a speaker. I was like, that is the dumbest fucking thing you've ever said. I literally said to her, I was like, that sounds like it sucks. The more I thought about it, I was like, actually, she's a fucking genius. I need to go apologize on my hands and knees because it's actually a really good gift. Like, I think our thing was like $25, $30. I went over, I spent like $35 on like the cheapest good speaker you could get. Like, it's, you know, I think JBL's a fine brand. I think it's a JBL speaker, was like $35. And I'm like, you know what? At least, no matter who gets it, you can use it. Everyone can use a speaker. I was like, you use it in the shower, you use it in the garden, you go to the beach, you use it. I'm like, it's nice and portable. It was really small. I'm like, it'll be good for something. And I was like, that's actually a really good shout. But, so we got that. I got a small bottle of, cologne, which was really nice, which I love a fragrance. Also, as a sweaty person, I like to try and smell nice. But it was really cute. We all had dinner together. It was nice, like Christmas, you know, crackers, bonbons. We all made cocktail, like a couple of us all did cocktails for everyone. I made a cosmopolitan, which was my first time making one. I don't think people liked it that much. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was quite nice. But the star of my cocktail was, at least I tried making a garnish, and I saw on like YouTube Shorts someone melt some candy canes into little bows. I was like, that is so cute. So I went to buy candy canes, and I was like, okay, I can buy like, for like $4, I can buy like a 10-pack of the big candy canes. And then I was like, but for $8, I can buy 140 small candy canes. So I was like, I'm gonna buy the small candy canes. Small candy canes aren't big enough to make a bow, that I found out later. So I was like, fuck. So I made candy cane hearts, because I did still try and make the bows. They just didn't work. And I was like, well, they're hearts now. But they're really cute. And I also, if you need to bring something to, if I can give a really lazy hack for bringing something to a Christmas, I saw this years ago, and I've done it like a good couple of times now, and you want to look like you put in effort, this is a really good snack or like dessert sort of thing to bring to any Christmas event. I go to Costco. You could basically buy brownies. I went to Costco and bought brownies because I couldn't be bothered making them. You could make them, that adds more thing, or you could lie, because lying is fun and it makes you look better. You could lie and say you made the brownies that you bought at Costco. People who bake could probably easily tell, but if it's just a random group of friends, you can just like get some extra points. But you buy some brownies, you buy some M&Ms, you buy some pretzels, and you make some icing. I bought some icing yesterday, but it wasn't very adhesive as you use it to like stick things together. Get the brownies. Little square brownie, easy. Square's an easy shape, because like it's gonna be cute anyway. You separate all the colors of the M&Ms, get some icing, put it on the red M&Ms, put it on the bottom, get the pretzels, cut off the top halves, or I just break them off, though I fucked a lot of them up. Put them on, they look like antlers. Get some brown M&Ms. I feel like they work best, even though the brownies are usually chocolate brownies and a brown anyway. I think they're good. Stick them on above the nose. Put some little white icing on for eyeballs. They look goofy as hell. Some of them look high as fuck, but they are cute. They're little reindeer brownies, and they just work. They're just so good. They're so cute, and I am so... It's just like everyone always thinks they're really good and like you put a lot of effort in, and it is a little time consuming, but I feel like it's a good payoff for like just buying some brownies and then you get like a really cool Christmassy dessert out of it. So I think it's just a really fun thing to do. And then like tonight I have a movie night with my work friends, which for some reason I said to my work friend the first time we did a movie night, I was like, hey, we were watching Shrek. I was like, should I dress up as Shrek? And they're like, yeah. I was like lying. And then I get there and they're like, why aren't you dressed as Shrek? And I was like, I wasn't going to paint myself green. And they were like disappointed. So the next movie night we did Moana. So I made a fake bra and like wore, I think, I don't know, like a little crystal on a thing. It was like the heart of Tafiti. And I was like, haha, Moana. I was like, it's all I can do. I had just cut my hair. I was like, I don't even have long hair anymore. But, I try to do it. And today I was like, I didn't tell anyone, but we got another movie night. And we're watching Shrek 2. And I was like, no one wants it. But I feel like I'm setting up a real, like, a legacy here. So I was like, I kind of want to figure something out. So I have a sword that I bought for like $3. I have bought, just now, a lot of random craft supplies. And a hat. I'm going to try and go as Puss in Boots. It's going to be like, obviously it's more like a Disney bounding, not a actual like dress up. But I was like, honestly, I just put the hat, make it, because I could only find tiny little feathers. And obviously Puss in Boots has that big feather on his hat. So I'm going to try and like make a giant feather. I'm just going to wear a hat, just my boots that I wear normally, and then have a sword, and I'm gonna like do Puss in Boots. I think in my mind it's gonna look really cool, but it's probably not. And then tomorrow I've got a friend's birthday, which is all day, and we're doing a potluck and all this stuff, so I've got to do heaps of cooking for it and go help us out. It's just, the week has just been, and then with the not having a lot of time to film because of like noise, it's just been like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you only like you have certain things on and it's just like, from an outside perspective, it's not that much, but to you, it's just so busy. It's that like Christmas time, I've still got heaps of Kringles coming up, gifts for family, figuring out like doing things for New Year's, doing things for Christmas, working. Like I obviously work in industry where when it's school holidays or schools are on holidays, where my like area is like so much busier, so that's a lot. So it's just one of those things where everything's sort of overlapping, and I'm trying my best to keep putting content out, but we might be having a couple more gaps than usual. I hope not. I will be trying my absolute darndest to keep up, but there's some nights where like I get home from like work, like I'll work for the do a full long shift, and I'll get home and I'm like, some days I can do it, and then some days I can't, like I don't want to record something when I'm not at a point where I can like give to a camera, because like if you're gonna do this, I feel like you want to give some like energy and some happiness. Like I really enjoy when people say they enjoy my jokes, they enjoy my energy, and I don't want to come on here and not give that, you know what I mean? So I hope not to take too many days off, but it's gonna be a busy month. That's just how December is. I feel like most people understand that. Most people who don't celebrate Christmas, like I don't celebrate it for religious reasons, but a lot of people just generally in that time are busy. Those holidays, there's a lot of different things in that month that are just busy for a lot of people. But I think I'll wrap up. I think we covered my week well. I've got to go start doing some brownie reindeers and making a hat. And I've got like 2 hours, and I feel like not enough time. And also, I did go to work a little bit hungover today, so I'm tired as anything. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed. Hopefully we'll get in the next couple of weeks out the top men of 2024, because I think that'll be really fun. I hope some of y'all are still excited for that. I feel like only a very small amount of people watch this, but like we vibe, you know what I mean? We enjoy what we do here. But I'm happy to be back. Maybe we'll be doing them a bit more spotty, but I hope to do the pod every now and then. But I hope you've enjoyed again and are having a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one.